So, how old were you when you finally managed to get in touch?
I was 1998, so I was 44 when I got in touch with my birth mum. Um, I had tried it by going to the library and looking back in all the records to find, because I had a name, and I just tried to trace that back. And managed to do that with the help of my wife. She was very supportive, and found out that there was 3 siblings in front of me and 2 siblings after me, which obviously heightened my questions of why I was fourth in line. Why was it me that was given up? So at 44, going through social services, they contacted my birth mum and arranged for her to ring me at home, and she did, and it was an amazing phone call. She was really pleased to hear from me, which it could have gone the other way, and we spent about an hour and a half talking on the phone. She wasn't very forthcoming on the reasons why, but told me I was full brothers. I was a full brother to my 3 brothers, and obviously full brother to my 2 sisters. They actually didn't know of my existence, so it was quite a traumatic thing for my birth mum, because after I got in touch, she actually had a family meeting with them to tell them that they had another sibling, and I went down to meet them all in one weekend, which probably wasn't the best way of doing it, but I was on such a high of being in touch. I just wanted to cram in as much as I could. I met my birth mum, my birth dad, only a few months before he died, and all of my siblings, all 5 of them. They were, what can I say? They were fine. There was no huggies you see on the TV and sort of wonderful and tears. There probably was a bit with my birth mum, but yeah, it was a good time. But in hindsight, was too much too soon. I had unrealistic expectations of being in a family that I wasn't in. Perhaps believing I could recapture perhaps something that I'd lost. I have major regrets about not being in a big family, because I was brought up as an only child. Incredibly traumatic, completely changed my way of doing things, and completely did things out of character for a while, thinking I could suddenly make up for lost time. I could be part of this family. But actually that was never going to be. I'm completely different. I'm a different character. I may have some of the traits of my brothers and sisters, but I was brought up differently. And after about 6 and 9 months of being on cloud 9 and desperately trying to fit into a new family, I hit the brick wall of realisation that that was never going to be. And I went into quite a depression, just because I think I had loads of regrets, loads of different feelings, different emotions that I probably have hid for years, thinking that I wasn't good enough. I mean, I'd got a great response from my birth mum, and I still have that a fairly good relationship with her, but I think I hit a feeling that you can't regain something you've lost. And although I wanted so much to capture that. You can't, and I couldn't.
Did you ever find out why you'd been adopted?
No, my birth mum said she couldn't cope. She'd had 4 children in 4 years. I was the fourth of that fourth. As far as she was aware, I suppose you might call it postnatal depression now. It might not have been recognised way back then. But she's got no recollection, recollection, thank you, of what happened, and the people that did take charge of what happened have all gone now. I've accepted that to a point, but it still doesn't take away how I feel, in the sense that I found it incredibly difficult to accept that she had 2 more kids after me. And I'm never going to get the I's dotted and the T's crossed to find out why. And I find that difficult. Even if it had been some horrible reason, I would rather know than live in this vacuum where, I don't know, you sort of think, you've done something wrong, or you weren't good enough, or I'm going to go to my grave not knowing, because there's nobody to tell me. So it's something I live with and accept to a certain extent. But I'd still like to know. It would be good to know the reasons behind it all. But it's never going to be.